Most people hear the word debt and they panic. But what if I told you I'm in $30 million worth of debt and it's the best financial decision I've ever made? We're gonna break down 3 things today. We're gonna break down how I use leverage and debt to build wealth through real estate. We're gonna break down how I get cash flow every single month because of that. And then we're gonna break down some tax code and show you how I keep more of what I earn. All right, let's start out with part 1 and the power of leverage mixed with debt. Leverage is so powerful because it allows you to control and own assets without having to pay for them in cash. You can put 20% down and control 100% of a real estate asset, or you can creatively invest in real estate like I do and use none of your own money to own 100% of an asset. That is leverage. So here's a breakdown of my situation. I've taken on about $30 million worth of debt, which costs me about $145,000 in mortgage payments every single month. However, this allows me through leverage to control over $50 million worth of real estate. The result, I have over $20 million worth of equity because of debt and leverage. I would not have that $20 million worth of equity without that $30 million worth of debt. It's called leverage, and it's properly leveraging debt. I do it the right way. And I'm not the only one. According to NAR, 80% of real estate investors use leverage to buy real estate. There are a few different ways to do it, as I mentioned earlier. If I put 20% down on a property, I'm able to own something worth 5 times that. Let's say I put 20% down on a $100,000 property. I'm putting out $20,000, yet I'm controlling an asset worth $100,000. So for 20 grand, I get to control an asset worth $100,000. If I want to own $100,000 worth of stocks, I'm going to have to put in $100,000. There's no leverage in the stock market, at least no responsible way to do that, but there is in real estate. And I utilize the BRRRR method, which allows me to get 100% ownership of a property without using any of my own money. I'm not going to break that down in this video. However, at the end of this video, I will point you in the direction of the next video for you to watch, which I will break down the BRRRR method in that and show you how I do it. Without debt, I wouldn't own this real estate. Smart debt creates wealth. Section 2, how this debt allows me to cash flow through real estate. Real estate is the only investment that allows you to use leverage, get cash flow, debt pay down, appreciation, and tax savings all in one. Let's talk about my situation now. As I mentioned earlier, I am in $30 million worth of debt, and that costs me $145,000 in mortgage payments every single month. And as I mentioned, that $30 million worth of debt allows me to own $50 million worth of real estate, and that real estate is rental properties. So that $50 million worth of real estate, because of debt, brings in over $340,000 every single month in rent. So of course I'm getting into debt and borrowing money and having to pay that money back. However, the real estate that I own brings in more than enough cash flow to cover those debt payments and all owning expenses with positive cash flow left over. So I own this real estate that pays for itself. I remember doing my very first deal, having a $100,000 mortgage on a $125,000 house with the BRRRR method, and thinking I now own a house without using any of my own money. And that completely blew my mind. And that was because of debt and leverage. And over time, that $125,000 house, 10 years later, right now is worth $240,000. And that $100,000 mortgage had been paid down by the rent to about $65,000. So I have $175,000 worth of equity in one property that I bought 10 years ago using none of my own money. So I'm able to cash flow positively and still own this real estate. And according to the Federal Reserve and everything that I've witnessed, real estate tends to go up in value 3 to 5% every single year like clockwork. Now, of course, there are ups and downs, but over a 10-year period, real estate's going to go up 3 to 5%. And for my portfolio, that's $2 to $3 million every single year of property value growth. And I'm not even talking about the debt pay down side or the cash flow side or the tax savings side. Before we get to part 3, if you appreciate me being honest and giving you information that you can actually utilize, hit that like button. Do it. Part 3, how I pay little to no taxes. So I invest in real estate and it helps me create wealth and gives me positive cash flow. However, the side of real estate investing that very few people talk about is the tax savings side. The IRS wants people to invest and own real estate. That's why there is more tax code and more tax savings for real estate investors than any other type of investment. I do pretty well for myself between my flipping company that flips 250 houses a year, my $50 million rental portfolio, and my education business that has 1,900 students and own $300 million in real estate, and I don't pay any money in taxes on any of that profit because I own so much real estate and invest in real estate. That real estate is not only a tax savings vehicle, it creates wealth at the same time. There are almost endless ways to save money in taxes with real estate between write-offs, 1031 tax exchange, step-up cost bases. There are a ton of ways to save money owning and investing in real estate. However, the biggest and easiest one to understand is depreciation. The IRS allows you to depreciate your property over 27.5 years. To make it simple, you basically take 90% of the value of your property when you buy it, and you divide that by 27.5, and whatever that number is, you're able to depreciate that and take that off your taxes. So for simple math here, let's say you own a house worth $250,000 times 90%, taking 10% out for the land, the 90% for real estate, that's $225,000. Divide that by 27.5, and you're able to write off $8,100 a year just from that one property. And more than likely, that's way more than you're cash flowing. Therefore, you have extra write-offs to spread across your other businesses or your other W-2 income. This is why real estate is the game changer. You not only get property growth, you not only get debt pay down, you not only get cash flow, you get a ton of different tax saving options that can be spread into other types of income. See, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't get into this, especially if you know what you're doing and you have a little bit of guidance. If you'd like a little more guidance, just check out the description below for an absolutely free training that will walk you through more of this and give you even an opportunity to talk with my team. It's absolutely free, and we don't collect your phone number or your email address. I really just want to help. Check out this video over here to learn more about that BRRRR method that allows me to own $50 million worth of real estate using none of my own money. And make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. See you on the next one.